Hi, good morning. A UFO was shot down over Lake Huron in the Tobermory area of Ontario. It's enough to make Benny Keys glad he moved to Texas. But don't worry, Benny, we got you covered. It's all taken care of. It's been an exciting day up here in the home state of Michigan. U.S. shot down third UFO this week on Sunday. Here's what we know about the latest incident, and this was published February 12, 2023 at 4:45 p.m. Okay, something very weird is happening in our skies because the U.S. announced Sunday that it had shot down yet another unidentified flying object according to reports. This time the downing took place over Lake Huron in Michigan. Representative Jack Bergman, that's state of Michigan Representative Jack Bergman, said that the U.S. military, quote, decommissioned another object, close quote, over the lake. If you're counting at home, that marks 3 UFOs shot down by the United States this week. It's a streak that began on Friday, continued on Saturday with a shoot down over Canada, and then Sunday over Michigan. Thus far, very little information has been given as to just what these objects might be, with some pilots even reportedly struggling to describe them. Okay, so we'll just skip down here. NORAD identified the object Saturday. This is the one that was shot down on Saturday, and both Canadian and U.S. aircraft were scrambled. And then we jumped out a little farther, and the last comments are, it's interesting timing for the UFOs being taken down just a week after the whole Chinese fly balloon flying over. It would be great to get an answer as to just what exactly we have been shooting down, because social media is going wild right now. Shocker, shocker, y'all can't just sit tight for one day. UFOs don't necessarily mean aliens, but people are going there. And Martin tweets this: what if the high-flying object shot down today by the U.S. was a UFO alien visiting from outer space? Are we prepared to go to war with these little green beings? Seriously, people. Seriously. Just have another cup of hot chocolate, put your feet up, watch a good movie. Just breathe. And now for my pale imitation of gray hues with the maps. So you can see here's Michigan, here's central Michigan. Whenever I tell you that I'm waving at you from the pocket of the mitt, it's right here. It's where you would want a baseball to land. Up here is Tobermory, which is a peninsula in Ontario, Canada, and it's on Lake Huron, which is this lake right here. And these are the 6 Great Lakes states: Michigan, Ohio, Indiana, Illinois, Wisconsin, and way up here in Minnesota. And why is that important? Well, let's find out. I'm going to turn these state markers off, and I'm going to turn some other markers on. So the first one is to show you that there was a refueling jet up here tanker, up here in the northeast quadrant of Lower Michigan. And there was an AWACS up here in the northwest quadrant of Lake Michigan. Sorry, did I say this is Lake Michigan? This is Lake Huron. Lake Michigan, Lake Huron. All right, let's look at some interesting distances. So, of most interest to me is how far is the area up here in Lake Huron that is, where compared to me? 180 miles as the crow flies from this area in Lake Huron to where I am. Let's see what else is interesting. So, up here, can you see it? Maybe not. Yes, you can. Up here is the Sault Ste. Marie locks. It's a major shipping lane, and it's 154 miles to Sault Ste. Marie. Down this way from Tobermory to right here at the mouth of the Detroit River is Fort Gratiot, and that's 139 miles. Add another 55 miles and you get to the Big D for a total of 211 miles from up here to down here to a major metropolitan city. Let's see, 505 miles is the longest distance. Well, Tobermory here just went off the map, so we follow as the crow flies. Up here, Duluth, a major shipping lane. You have to go through Sault Ste. Marie right here to get up and around and over to Duluth, Minnesota. And that is 505 miles. Well, what else? How about let's fly from the Tobermory area of Lake Huron straight across Michigan, over me, down here to Chicago, 378 miles to Chicago, and another 30-ish miles to the Great Lakes Naval Training Station. The Great Lakes Training Station is where everybody goes to boot camp. So, let me center this map again. You can see these are not great distances. In the grand scheme of things, these are not great distances at all. And I have to tell you, being less than 200 miles away from where I'm located, this UFO, whatever it was, it didn't make me comfortable. But I live in Michigan, and I know that there is an Air Force base north of Detroit. I know that there is a very short distance across the Great Lakes to the Naval Training Station, and I know that there is an Army installation up in the upper part of the Lower Peninsula. So I could choose to move somewhere else, but honestly, where would I go where I would not encounter something? Now, another Reuters report said that this UFO was tracked and picked up in Montana, which is right in here. This is Montana, and it was tracked across, to Lake Michigan. So where would I go? Montana used to look really good, and maybe not so much now. So that's all we have from you from the Great Lakes state of Michigan. Everybody is safe and sound. You're all safe and sound. Thank you so much for joining me for this late report on Sunday, February 11th. God bless you, and I'll see you real soon. Probably tomorrow.